competition when you're playing your rivals? You beat your rivals. What's that say?
Yeah, I just think it was we were mentally and physically prepared to play the game, and I'm not saying Seattle weren't. I just my only focus and concentration is on Portland Timbers, and I felt, and I said this after the game, I felt the team won the game that deserved to win the game.
That's it.
And if you work that hard and show that amount of desire and work ethic, then you're going to get your rewards, and the players certainly got them.
What's that mean to your team? Even though it is preseason, doesn't count. What's it mean to have that kind of a result as you guys are building?
Well, I keep getting this question. I keep throwing back the same answer. If it doesn't count, and we were 7 losses in right now, what would you guys be saying to me? You would be asking me, am I worried that we haven't won a game, we haven't kept a clean sheet, and the season's starting in 2 weeks? It's a fair argument, correct? So I'm saying the same thing. It's pre-season. Of course it counts, because I'm pretty sure that Seattle didn't want to lose 2 games this weekend, because I know Ziggy Smith and I know that organisation. They're a team of winners, an organisation full of top class people. We're the same. We don't want to lose games, and we don't play exhibition games as soon as we get that in our mentality. And I think we're starting to grasp that very quickly. The guys went out and put in 2 good performances this weekend.
John, what's the approach for this week going into the final regular season game? What are you trying to emphasize in training for this week?
Just the same, keep the intensity high, and every week is almost like climbing another mountain. You know, are you going to prove yourself this week to the coaching staff that you're good enough to travel to San Jose to play against the Earthquakes and beat a team that got to, I think maybe the Eastern Conference final? They jumped into last year Western Conference final against Colorado. So are you ready to play? The mentality has never changed, Jeffrey, from week 1 to week 10, whatever it is we're in right now, and it's not going to change throughout the season. And please don't take it the wrong way. I'm not trying to be arrogant or say this is my way or the highway, but we have to have a real professional mentality from the moment you step into the training facility in the morning to the moment you go to sleep at night.
Do you feel like that they've grasped that, John, in terms of that mentality that you're trying to?
Yeah. I really do. I think that's why that obviously we've had 4 or 5 ties in pre-season. We've been very hard to beat, and even when we haven't played as well as we'd like to have played, teams still haven't run over the top of us and beat us. And I think that shows great character and a great willingness and a desire to work hard and fight every inch of the field for 90 minutes. And I'm extremely proud of this group of guys that we've got right now.
How do you feel about the chemistry of the team and communication and things like that?
I think it can always be better. I think it's one weakness that American players do have is the communication. I think they're scared to offend each other, whereas back in Europe it's a different type of mentality. You do get people getting into each other and demanding more. I just think here, as a nation of soccer players, we're a little bit quiet on that side of things. But I think athletically, technique-wise, we're up there with the best in the world. That's for sure.
And you guys have had a lot of success defensively so far this season, at least result-wise. What do you think where's that coming from?
I just think mentality. Our mentality is that even our attacking players have got to defend. I think if you see the most successful teams over the last few years in Major League Soccer, with the San Jose Earthquakes, the Dynamo, the Galaxy, Real Salt Lake, you've got to work hard when you don't have the ball, because if you don't, you leave yourself open, and there's quality players in this league that will take advantage of it and punish your team. So the reason we're keeping clean sheets is because the goalkeeper's doing well, the back four's doing well, but the people in front of them are also working hard to close down every gap there is in the field and make it difficult for teams to penetrate.
You addressing one of the things you talked about, particularly after the Vancouver game, was the occasional laxness defensively. Is that something that is a concern for you? I mean, obviously it's a concern, you would have mentioned it, but what are you doing about that to try to address that?
Well, it comes down to concentration levels. I don't think it's fitness related, because I think we're a very fit group right now. The guys are feeling great, they've told me that. It's just switching off. You've got to realise that when you're playing against the Galaxy and there's Beckham and then Landon Donovan, you give them half a second and you switch off, the ball's in the back of the net and you're punished. So all that work you've done, from the Monday to the Saturday game is just thrown down the drain because you switch off for 30 seconds or 15 seconds. So it's important that we keep the concentration levels high, and we're working every single day. The game, I don't know if you've seen the tempo, the practices are always very high, and it's always pressing the ball and never switching off. So we're just trying to implement that day to day.
This was your first taste of the Sounders Timbers rivalry. Your first impressions and what it was like.
I thought it was great. Obviously, our fans come up there and obviously enjoyed the win. I know I certainly did when I seen Kenny's ball at the back of the net. You know the game's over. It's a good feeling. But as I say, we're going to have to beat more than Seattle 2 or 3 times a year, and Vancouver 2 or 3 times a year to be successful. We want to get the playoffs the same as every other team does in this league. And you know, so to get there, we're going to have to pick up a few wins on the road and win a few games more than Seattle and Vancouver.
Are you guys on schedule in terms of what you hoped this team would be at this time with the 12 days to go ahead of schedule? Where do you think you're at?
I just take day to day, to be honest with you. You know, if the guys come out and they don't play hard, then they'll know, they'll hear it from us. And as I say, I've not had to crack the whip with these guys. I don't think once since we started back from the first week till now. Ahead of schedule, I don't set schedule. We just any opponent I've told them they put in front of us, their mentality must be to go out and just steamroller over the top of them and get 3 points. That's the mentality.
It seems overall you're pretty satisfied with their progress. How would you rate
I'm
them?
delighted.
On a 1 to 10 scale,
I don't put numbers. I'm very happy. I tell guys, like I said to Sal this morning and Steve Purdy and Jeremy Hall, I tell these guys, you're doing great, but you've got to continue to do great 30 weeks of the season. You know, you have the ability. That's why we brought you here. We've seen something very special in some of these guys, and we brought them. And now it's up to them just to prove us right. We can only give them so much information when they step on the field. John Spencer, Trevor James, and Amos McGee, we never won the game on Saturday against Seattle, or Friday night, against Seattle. The players won the game, and that's the talent that they have. We give them information, they go out and they produce, take that information, play well, put in some good performances on both sides of the ball, and they got the 3 points that they deserve. So it was just nice to sit back and enjoy the ride.